As I was coming up with a topic for this video and wandering around the internet, I noticed a few posts asking for SWTOR players' hot takes. So I thought, sure, why not? Now, if you've poked around our channel a little, you'll know a few of those already. Like, Theron's an idiot, or the kill option is good, and you're not a terrible person if you take it. And I'm not going to rehash that here, because that'd be boring. So here, in no particular order, is a quick fire list of fresh opinions that may or may not qualify as hot takes. First up, I'm just gonna come out and say it. Male Inquisitor is better than female Inquisitor. Now, I probably just broke the internet with that big bombshell, but you know how it is, go big or go home. Now, I'm not saying I hate the female Inquisitor, because I don't, she's great. I just think the male Inquisitor is a notch above. He hits it out of the park pretty much every time. I just love his deadpan snark. Nobody does it better, and it just makes the story so much fun to play. Speaking of class stories, the warrior story is just kinda meh to me. And that's kind of surprising, because it should be right up my alley. It has betrayal on betrayal, so all the drama. It has all these wonderful moments with choices that feel important and impactful, yet somehow when I'm finished, the whole just feels less than the sum of its parts, and I'm not entirely sure why. Despite everything the warrior goes through and everything they overcome to become the Emperor's Wrath, for me somehow, it just feels like they didn't really accomplish anything. Maybe if the Emperor hadn't just disappeared after Chapter 3, things would have felt different. Maybe being the Emperor's Wrath would have felt less pointless. You can certainly level similar criticisms at all the other class stories. I mean, the Inquisitor is tied with the Jedi Knight for my favorite, yet the Inquisitor certainly never attends any Dark Council meetings. Somehow the ending still feels more satisfying to me. The Warrior is still a great story, of course. It's probably number 4 for me, behind Inquisitor, Knight, and Agent, but just not as high as a lot of other people seem to rank it. Moving on to the ever-popular subject of companions, I must be one of 5 people who neither love nor hate Quinn. Now, most of my warriors would have killed him right after the betrayal, but I never do it on Iacrath because in universe it's been several years, and killing him then just seems kinda silly to me. I don't begrudge anybody who does it, of course, because they do each his own, but I just can't care one way or the other. Besides, the guy did go to prison because he refused to stop looking for your warrior after they disappeared into wild space, so you gotta give him props for that, right? On the other hand, I don't like Vet. She's not detestable like Kaleo or Ashara. She just kinda rubs me the wrong way with her constant quips and snark. It's like running around with a Joss Whedon character. She's always gonna have some snarky comeback no matter the situation, even if mouthing off could prove fatal. It's like the writers know that the warrior can't do anything to her, so she can just say whatever, even though, logically, if a person was really in her situation, a slave in the Empire, they'd probably be a lot more cautious about the things they say. I know a lot of people find her funny. I just find her annoying, and certainly not someone I'd want my warrior to romance. Though, to be fair, I don't really love any of the companion romances. How's that for a hot take? They're not bad. Well, okay, maybe some of them are bad. Mostly I just think they're boring. I think the biggest problem I have with them, at least for the original class romances, is that they're so divorced from the rest of the story. Of course, originally they had to be, because romance conversations, like all conversations with our companions, opened up based on approval level and not story progress, so there was no way for the writers to know where in the story you might actually be when you got those conversations. As a result, the romances feel like they happen in a vacuum. That's why I prefer those little mini romances that you can have with some of the side characters that are tied into your story. My favorite of these is Watcher 2, aka Shara Jen and Male Agent, but I also really love the train wreck that is Darmus Polaran and Female Smuggler, and the tragedy of Male Trooper and Sergeant Jack. So it's also really fun to flirt with Jonas Balker as the female trooper, and I wish that could have gone somewhere when they brought him back, but alas, it did not. Speaking of the expansions, I thought the monthly chapter releases of Knights of the Fallen Empire was a pretty neat idea. Didn't much care for the story in the chapters, but it was nice to have new content to look forward to on a at least semi-regular basis. I also like that they made them repeatable and that there are different difficulty levels so people can get whatever kind of challenge they want. It's just too bad it's not the case with the newer stories. But that's all I'd want the newer stories to take from the Knights of expansions, because otherwise I really didn't like them. I hate Sakul, and I'm glad we're done with it. I hate the Alliance, and I wish we were done with it. I hate that my characters lost their class identity only to become the generic commander. Yep, I freely admit it. I'm one of those people. The ones who are happy we're back to Empire versus Republic. Or maybe I should say I'm glad we're back with our factions, because the war storyline has kind of faded into the background as everyone is chasing Malgus or worrying about whatever's going on with the Mandalorians. But I still hate that half the people we meet call our characters Commander. Man, how I hate that title. And that's my list. Now, I'm not sure how many of these actually qualify as hot takes, but you can let me know in the comments below, and if you have your own hot takes, share those too. Those are always fun to read. And while you're down there, why not subscribe for more videos like this? And as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.